Hello and welcome to another tier list video, this one being about Pikmin 4. Now, I recently just played through Pikmin 4 in its entirety, uploaded that all to my second channel, and seeing a lot of these bosses come back and new bosses being seen for the first time, I gotta say, I got a lot to say about these guys, and I want to put them neck and neck with my other tier list. So, a lot of these enemies came back. They made a lot of improvements. They came back even stronger. They came back with a buff. They had a training arc. But I'm just going to be here rating them all, ranking them all on how I experienced them, and provided with a lot of video of my first experience with these bosses and my first time seeing them, and things that I think that are important about those bosses. So, kicking it off. And first we got Porquillan, kind of a little porcupine guy that throws his spikes on you. Now, when I first experienced him in the Pikmin 4 demo, I called him the best boss of Pikmin of all time, just because he was the first boss that I was able to see, and I was happy to have my old Pikmin 2 music come back while I'm fighting through this boss. And he also showed me how gruesome the deaths in Pikmin can be. In Pikmin 4, when he just impales one of your Pikmin and they stay stuck to the ground. It was terrifying. 1-2, the 1-over. During this fight, I was alerted to how horrific these deaths are for these little Pikmin. I saw my little guy get impaled. That was the worst thing I saw in this entire demo. Oh my god, it's so sad the way he just got stabbed. Fine, so just because of his incredibly crazy way of killing Pikmin, and he won't kill a lot of them, but I do like his ability of stabbing them through. It really shook me up when I first saw it, so I'm gonna put him in B tier because of that alone. My first experience, my first boss, and I like him a lot. I like these new bosses a lot. Next, we have the Snowflake Fluttertail. Basically, you gotta just throw a fire rock that red Pikmin can pick up at it, and it will lose all of its snow. If not, it will just kind of freeze all your Pikmin. They provide you with a lot of little areas to kind of throw the fire to get more of the little fire pieces. So I gotta say, it's it's not really good at killing Pikmin. I like its aesthetic, I gotta say. So that's basically all it's got going for it, is how beautiful it is. Doesn't really kill Pikmin, but it is an interesting boss fight with the mechanics with the ice kind of stuff that's in the game. So I'm gonna put him right next to Porquillan and give him a B tier. Next, we have a returning boss from Pikmin 3, the bug-eyed Crawmad. And he's exactly the same. He's kind of a pushover. You just throw your Pikmin into his eyes before he even attacks. It gets all red, and you can just take him out. Here I took him out right before sundown. I was able to take him out within seconds before the countdown, just because he's kind of an easy boss. He's a returning boss, but I've always kind of liked him. He's always been interesting, so I'm going to put him in C tier. Empress Bulblax. Okay, so you fight her 3 times in this game. The first time, she's kind of a pushover, almost exactly the same fight from Pikmin 2. But if you try to rush her with Ochi's rush attack, it will all go south. She'll throw them all. I had a couple of bad run-ins with her. The second time you fight her, of course, she's got a little army behind her. This one's not as bad. I still had the same strategy as I did from Pikmin 3. Or Pikmin 2, but she was able to get some kills off of me, pretty good amount. And then the third time you fight her in this enclosed space where it's just the best place for her to be defensively. I had multiple deaths on her when they put her in the room instead of the cavern for a king. I don't know why they went and did it dirty like that, but other than that, she's a pretty alright boss. But because of that room alone, it really shows you, in the entirety of the Cavern for a King, it really shows you how much, an area where the bosses are matters to the fight. And I'll go into play a little bit later. You know what, just because of that room alone, and she got a lot of kills off of me, I'm putting her in S rank. she bumped the heck up from my last tier list just because of where they put her in the game. Okay, next we got the funniest name and new boss, the Mammoth Snootwhacker, because he whacks you with the snoot. An adorable boss. Not very hard, but aesthetically pleasing. I always thought that it looked like watermelon skins or something, but I love him. I put him in A tier. I love the design. I love the fight. It's very simple, but he's just adorable. He's got an adorable name. I'm putting him up here for cuteness. We got the infamous returning boss, the Man at Legs. He's back. He's angry. He comes in with a chauffeur, just pops out of the ground all crazy and just starts blasting everything in the area. All they give you for cover in this game is like walls, like little walls to freaking hide around, and he can take them down, making the fight all the more crazy. Come on. You'll never take down my wall. But he wasn't that hard first time fighting him. It was just so good to see him back. But again, they put him in a new area in the Cavern for a King, surrounded by water. So kind of like in Pikmin 2, you can only fight him with the blue Pikmin. So I gotta say, he is an insane boss. Like I said in the last tier list, any boss that has a freaking weapon on them is insane. And I am so happy to see him back. He rightfully earns an S rank because of the cinematicness. He's got awesome new music. Like, I don't know why he's so cool. They gave him some pretty crazy music with this boss fight as well. Next we have the big boy, the Sovereign Bulblax, the big version of a regular Bulblax. It kind of clears up like what the final boss of Pikmin 1 was, since that Bulblax was so big. They brought a big version and the little version of these boys. And I gotta say, the big version, with his scream attack and everything else and just bigger enhanced ability, can tank more. He's an awesome fight. He's an awesome fight that you can't really like. You have to take it slow. You have to be strategic with this fight, or he will scream, he will throw your Pikmin everywhere, he'll jump, and he'll take out a good amount of your Pikmin. He goes crazy in this game. And also during one of the nighttime missions, they summon multiple of this guy, and it's just a nightmare. Like, just a bunch of Bulblaxes in that one. So I'm gonna say he's an S rank. He's Bulblax. He's awesome. I love him. Like, they did great in his design in this game. They did great on like how you fight him. I love the Sovereign Bulblax. Next we have the Puffstool / Toxic Puffstool. So if we're talking the regular Puffstool, the good old fashioned boy, instead they got rid of the Shroom Men, the Pikmin with the mushrooms on their head. They got rid of those guys, which sucks, which, I mean, I get, but it was so unique. Like, they replaced it with a confusion kind of effect that a lot of other bosses have on them. But the thing that was so special about the Puff Shroom was that it summoned like Puffmen to kind of run behind it and attack your Pikmin. Like, he was supposed to be like another captain, and I feel like they kind of messed that up in this game. But they gave him an elemental, they gave him a poison, so you're forced to fight him with poison type. I gotta say, he's mid, but I love him, so I'm just gonna put him in B tier with the other guys. Like, he's really cool, but I mean, you gotta get bumped down because we lose the Puffman. Next we have another infamous guy, the Smoky Progg, returning back in Pikmin 4. Straight from Pikmin 1, the Madman has his own unique like effect. It's not poison. What is that? Is that what I think it is? Don't tell me.
as a creature.
As a kid, I always thought like, oh, a couple of white Pikmin would be able to destroy this guy because he's got a poison shrub. But no, it's still instant kills. Like, no matter what Pikmin you have, it will instant kill it, like if they touch it. And it's terrifying because they send out multiple of these guys on some of the night missions, and they put him in kind of a crazy place in the cavern for a king. I lost so many men on the Smoky Progg in this game. I lost so many men in Pikmin 1, and I lost so many men in Pikmin 4 to the Smoky Progg. Terrifying as always, and the red eyes are not doing him any favors. He stays terrifying, and since he has that terrifying thing on him, I'm bumping him right up to S rank with the other guys, just because of how crazy he is, and just because like he has his own unique thing about him that just goes crazy. Like, I've always liked the Smoky Progg. I like that they kept that he'll instantly kill any Pikmin no matter what, really keeping that fear here. Because I always thought, like I said, I always thought white Pikmin would just be able to defeat him. If they were in Pikmin 1, this guy would be a joke. He is no joke. He is here to fight. He is here to kill. He is not here to play any games. Next, we have the final boss. I'm speechless. I am so speechless right now. What is that? Y'all are messing with me. Y'all are messing with me. There is no way that is the dog. There is no way that is the dog. What? Louis, please. Louis, please go easy on me. I got a lot to say about the final boss. This is the Ancient Sirehound. The Ancient Sirehound is an insane fight. And my chat was messing with me when I was fighting him for the first time. And they're telling me that it's just a little dog. It's not going to be any bigger than Moss or any bigger than a little dog. So I went into this fight expecting kind of like another Dandity battle, but when I got here, I had no words to see how huge this dog was. I was like, oh my god, I have to fight that, and that's insane. But not only is it just a little fight, I thought I had it down. Like, I killed him so fast, I was like, ha, that's it. Then he goes through forms. He has the electric form where he just summons a bunch of electric stuff and attacks you and goes crazy. He has an ice form, which also freezes a bunch of Pikmin. Like, you gotta throw ice Pikmin at it to defeat it. And then its final form, which is the craziest, it has Smoky Progg powers. It has powers to summon, like, spots on the ground of smoke that have the Smoky Progg effect. If a Pikmin touches it, they will die. I would have had no chance in this fight if it wasn't for the glow Pikmin seeds. I used like 50 or 60 glow seeds on this fight because I was losing men like crazy. He's at the end of Cavern for a king. I already didn't have so many Pikmin to begin with. This is an insane boss fight. He's right up there with the Titan Dweevil with me. He is an amazing boss fight. He goes to S automatically. He is insane. Okay, next we have the Foolix. The Foolix's younger, dumber cousin. I saw this for the first time. This is one of the first boss fights that I saw in the game. And I was freaked out. I was like, oh my god, like, they brought him back. They brought Foolix. They brought the ghoul guy back. Like, oh my god, that's awesome. Then when I see him in the Piccolopedia, he's none other than the Foolix. So since he's such a fool, but I love to see him back, and he's got a very unique like attack strategies as well. I like any goopy water boss. I'm gonna put him right there in A rank. Any goopy water boss is a thumbs up for me. Next we have the regular Emperor Bulblax. And just like in Pikmin 2, Emperor Bulblax is a little bit of a pushover. Like, give enough of the right Pikmin, he'll fall over. He won't do a whole lot. He is nothing compared to the Silver and Bulblax, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. He doesn't take that much to defeat. He does the same things as the Silver and Bulblax, but on a smaller scale. He's a little guy, but he's still terrifying when it comes to the Bulborb species. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. Next, I have the Burrowing Snagret. The Burrowing Snagret is the Burrowing Snagret. It does the exact same thing as he does in all the other games, but for some reason, I had no good strategies on fighting this thing for some reason. Like, I didn't know how I should approach it. Like, I kept using Ochi's charge, and it just wasn't working out. They'd fly over his head, he'd take a couple, and then he'd leave. Like, I was not doing good on this version of him. But he's awesome, he's beautiful. He has the losing feathers effect when you get him down on damage. I'm putting him in B tier. I don't lose too many men to him, but he's still awesome to see back. Next, another infamous boss, we have the Waterwraith. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the Waterwraith. Oh my god, he's back. Something just dropped from above. What is that thing? I can see it, but I'm not picking up any signs of life. Oh my god, he's back. Oh my god. Again, it takes me right back to the fear I had as a kid, seeing this creature spawn in for the first time in the engulfed castle. I saw the words engulfed castle and thought, ha, that sounds like the submerged castle. I hope that has no like correlation. And then he spawns. He spawns and he camps me out for the longest time. In his dungeon, in the first little chamber, he camps me out. He's infamous. I also got him stuck on a little piece of, I got him stuck on the exit to the sub level in one level, so he wasn't as scary, but walking up to him, hearing his sounds, like knowing how crazy he is, he still struck fear. Even though he was stuck, he struck fear in my heart. He's there. He would chase you, he will find you, he will crush your Pikmin, and I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for riding on Otachi's back. I'm so sorry, but you're terrifying. You are the scariest guy. But once you get down to the actual boss fight, it ain't much. You just throw your purple Pikmin, you attack. It's not much of a boss fight, but the whole running away from him, he has so much fear in him. He will just destroy you if you're not careful. So like, that fear alone bumps him up. And you fight him again in the Cavern for a King. You fight a lot of these bosses again in the Cavern for a King. And they put two in a room with you, and it feels a lot like Bully Den from the challenge levels of Pikmin 2. Like, there's two of them running around, you have to defeat them both. One of them has something you need. So, just for that, just for being so infamous and scaring the heck out of me again for the second time in my life, he gets an S rank. He's insane, he's awesome. I like the goopy enemies. He's Foolix on a grander scale. He's got the rollies, he's got everything. He's perfect. They got everything perfect on him. I love it. And next I have the Arctic Cannon Beetle. This one throws snowballs that you guys can get stuck in. And I gotta say, just like the Horned Cannon Beetle, they ain't much to shock at. I mean, It's a Pikmin 1 boss. They're very easy to maneuver around, and mostly you can take them out in like one cycle. They're not hard. Next, I got another funny name in this. It's the Crusted Rump Pup. So he's got a crusty bum. You gotta throw your Pikmin to pull on his like little hair and pull down his little like spike thing. And it's a new boss. I like him. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of personality. You gotta defeat him by hitting that little bulb on his butt, and you gotta pull down his tail to attack it. I like him a lot. I'm putting him, just because of how fun this fight is, and I like him a lot, I'm putting him in A tier. Oh my god, our next guy. The grooviest guy imaginable. He's got the moves, he's got the music. They hit him with some new crazy music. Like, I don't know what happened to the Long Legs family along the way, but this is the cool son, the cool kid. This is the Groovy Long Legs. He attacks you with some of the coolest, craziest music that like is affected by the battle. Like when he's attacking, it changes. Like kind of like in Pikmin 2, like all of the boss fights, like whenever they're gonna attack or something, their music kind of like changes up or gets faster. He's just playing jams the entire time and grooving to them and moving to them. I love this boss fight so much. Like he's easily S tier. Like jumping around, making all that music, making those jams while you're fighting him, and he gets mad. And every time he gets mad at you, he hits you with the meme air horn. He's one of the funniest, one of the awesome, one of my favorite bosses out of this game right there. Honestly, if we're talking like priority, this Sirewolf goes moved up to front, and Disco Guy goes moved up to front. They know how to put on a show. These fights are awesome. Like, those two gotta be my favorite fights out of this game in general. So, next and final, but probably not last, definitely not last actually, the Gildamander. He's a salamander that's got a bunch of gold on him. Such an interesting thing. Like, you gotta throw Pikmin on him or tackle him to take off his little gold pieces, and then attack him, then attack his little weak spots. I like how crazy he is. Like, he moves very slow. He's kind of derpy looking, kind of reminds me of a Cloudsire, but I like him a lot. He's got a lot of personality to him, and when you attack him, he kind of like scurries. I like him a lot. I'm putting him in A tier. His fights are cool. I like his fight in the Cavern for a King. I like his fight when you fight him for the first time. He's awesome. You also fight him at night, yeah, I think you also fight him at night one time. He's just an awesome guy. I really like the Gildamander. And that's the end of my tier list. Seeing as I'm looking at it now, I don't think any of these bosses deserved D. All of these bosses were really fun in their own way, really unique ways to attack them in the game. I gotta say, I have a lot of love for this game already. It's already bumped up there with one of my favorite games of all time, of this year. Like, I'm seeing a lot of hype about it. A lot of people are playing it now since the entire series is on the Switch. If you haven't played Pikmin yet, you gotta. Like, these bosses are amazing. And I gotta say, this was a great experience. Every single one of them was an incredible, unique experience to see them for the first time. I'm so happy to see the returns. I'm so happy to see the new guys. But that is all. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel. I also stream every time I'm streaming a new game. Usually Pikmin content. Just everywhere. So, yeah, I'll be here. I hope you enjoyed. This is all personal opinion on my experiences with them. Like I said, I also provided a bunch of videos of my experience in my first fights with them and how they kind of terrified me and how many actual men I lost on my first encounter with them. Being as that I played a bunch of Pikmin in my life, like even these guys, just taking them all down real easy was just shocking to me. So, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Keep playing Pikmin.